dogs, man's and a woman's best friend. At least 8.5 million of us agree. But do we realise just how costly they really are, especially when complications arise? I'm in Oxfordshire today to meet up with a major family to discuss just how much they spend on their dogs, Rusty and Bella.
So Rusty is diabetic, and as a part of her symptoms she also went blind, but we did have an operation to fix it. She also has some lumps which are due to her old age, and Bella, who's the yellow lab, has stiff hip joints, but that's because of her age.
How much money over the past year have you spent on pet bills for Rusty?
The details that we've got from the vets I think are for 2 years.
Well, this one is that 2,820. I mean, there's Bella's annual checkups, but it's mainly for Rusty's insulin and eye drops.
Rusty's out of the two dogs, because they're sisters, they're from the same litter. Out of the two of them, Rusty's the one that's always been the one that's been ill. We think she was diagnosed about 3 years ago. It could be longer. And as a part of actually confirming her diagnosis, they did blood sugar tests throughout the day, which meant that she had to go and stay at the vets for the day at the hospital, and they basically just do regular blood tests throughout the day to try and get the insulin level right. She also had to be spayed, which they recommended, and again that was another operation which she had to have. And then when she went blind, she had a double cataract operation because she went pretty much blind overnight. Luckily that was at a local vet in Abingdon, but the insurance was 4,000 or 5,000.
That was mostly spent up on the diagnosis and the first lots of treatment, so we had to pay.
Is it £1,500 balance?
Yeah, £1,500 on top of £5,000 insurance.
And that 2,800 doesn't include that.
Once it's been diagnosed, you can't claim then on the insurance as existing symptoms. So after the £5,000 was spent, everything else has had to be paid for by us.
Yeah, it's around £48 for a bottle of insulin. She has 2 injections a day. I think we're pretty much ordering that once a month. And then she's got, because of the cataract operation, she also has to have eye drops as well.
Do you think the medicine is overpriced?
Yes, you can definitely get the medicine cheaper online. The eye drops are about half price online, but you have to have a prescription. So you have to pay the vet for a prescription anyway, and then you have to then prove online that you've got the prescription. And insulin's sensitive to temperature, has to be kept cold. So although you can get it online, it's then the cost of getting it sent by a special courier. Got you over a barrel really at the vets as to ordering it.
How consistent do you have to be with the medicine?
Her insulin has to be the right amount, and you've got to keep to a routine. So she has 1 injection in the morning, usually before or after she's been fed, and then she has another one in the evening before we go to bed. And the thing is that if you double dose, it can kill her.
It's clear that the Major family love Rusty and Bella very much. The amount of money they spent to keep them healthy is astounding, but not everyone can handle such high costs. So what happens to them and their personal companions? Another day, another destination. I'm here at the Burford Blue Cross to find out how often they have dogs that arrive with medical conditions and what they do to help, and how much does it cost them. So what exactly does the Blue Cross do?
The Blue Cross is an animal charity. It's been around for many years. We help multiple species, from horses to dogs to cats to small animals like rabbits, guinea pigs. I look after a region, so I look after Oxfordshire for Blue Cross. So within those centres, we're looking at about 100 requests for dogs to come into the centre or to be helped by Blue Cross, but we take in around 65 per month. Most of our dogs are what we call high welfare dogs. So these are dogs that are unowned, so they are strays, and they have been picked up by dog wardens and councils. So a lot of them do come in with medical issues, understandably, because they have been strays. You know, with insurance and things like that, we do get animals coming in that do have ongoing treatment, and it is down to financial reasons why people can't afford their treatment. And things like allergies, skin conditions and stuff can be quite costly because it's an ongoing condition. The animal may have flare-ups, and that could be seasonal, or it could be something that's affecting that skin condition or that allergy. Therefore, obviously the costs will go up and down related to that. So that can be quite unmanageable for some people because it's unpredictable cost.
This is Martha. Say hello, Martha. And she was brought into us as a stray. The family handed her over. They said they found her straying somewhere. So there is a likelihood that, you know, she could have originated from a puppy farm. You know, people will advertise through Gumtree or Pre-Loved, and people will see puppies for sale and turn up to purchase the puppy, not seeing either the mother or the father dog and not really knowing what circumstances the puppy has come from. Quite a few puppy farms have sprung up, and we've seen the results and the problems with that in some of our Blue Cross hospitals where people go out and purchase the puppies, and as soon as they've driven them home, the puppy's fallen ill, and they've had to then take them in to the Blue Cross hospital because they don't have the money to be able to afford the veterinary care, having just shelled out, you know, the initial expense for the puppy. So we are seeing quite a bit of that, and we've had a few case studies through our London hospitals with that as well. So you need to go through a responsible rehoming charity as opposed to just answering ads in Pre-Loved and Gumtree and places like that. But it's a happy ending for you, Martha, isn't it? She's off to her new home this weekend. They'll show us, you know, they're taking the responsibility of owning a Blue Cross dog seriously.
It's obvious from what we've been told that your financial situation is very important when it comes to owning a dog. So what does the Blue Cross do to educate people on this?
Blue Cross actually has an education department where we go out and we teach kids responsibilities of owning a pet, so really catch them at that young age. So as they grow up, they become responsible owners. Within our work, we do include talking about costs and doing money management stuff with them on the costs of owning a dog, because it is really, really expensive. Our education work can expand to attending places like Crufts, so UK national events around the country. Now we do this and we put this time and money in to really educate the public. When people bring their animals in and they haven't had that veterinary care, sometimes it can cost us hundreds of pounds just to do those simple vaccinations, worming treatments and neutering as well, which can be hugely costly for the Blue Cross alone. And people really need to realise how expensive these treatments are before taking on a dog of their own.
Money seems to be one of the major factors when considering caring for a dog, and we've seen just how much money it can cost with the major families case and even for the Blue Cross. So the next time you see a dog and think you want one of your own, keep in mind that it's a big commitment. Caring for a dog should not and cannot be a spontaneous thing. Polina Badger, Burford Blue Cross, Oxfordshire.